Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Robinson here again, and we're going to continue our studies. We are solving equations with a nice little trick that I want to thank the Tech Math people on YouTube. I looked at their site and I liked their video, so you might want to check out Tech Math, solving equations trick. And I'm going to add my spin on it, so here we go. Here's some vocabulary you should know. Variable is a letter or symbol which represents a number. Coefficient is the number attached to the variable. Like, for example, we have a 3 attached to the letter x, so that would mean 3 times x, because the coefficient is multiplied with the variable. So when you see a letter next to a number, the number should go in next to it with the letter in parentheses when you do your substitution. So let's get down to the trick. So normally when we read from left to right. So here would be our question: 1/2 r minus 1 equals 15. Well, I want to go backwards. So our trick is to work in the opposite direction using what's called the inverse, or the opposite. So we're going to go from right back to left on this equation, describing exactly what goes on in the equation. So we're going to start here, going backwards with the 15, and we're going to see what's happening here. So there's a minus 1. So the first thing I'm going to write down is subtraction of 1. So then I notice over here there is a 1/2 r. If we remember our coefficient, that means 1/2 is being multiplied by the letter r. So let's go backwards by doing the opposite. So my first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the 15 where I start with, and I'm going to go backwards doing the opposite. The opposite I run into while I'm going backwards is the minus 1. So I'm going backwards, I run into the minus 1. The opposite of minusing 1 would be adding 1. So that's why I would add 1 to the 15, because that's the 15 where I started with, and I would get 16. So that's my first step. Now I'm going to continue going backwards on my journey. So the 1 is gone, so I don't have to worry about that. And now I have a multiplication that I have to deal with. The opposite of multiplication is division. So I'm going to divide by 1/2. So I'm going to now take the 16, which I ended up with in the first step, and now my second step is to take the 16 divided by 1/2. And that's going to give me the r. So I get my calculator if you want to. R 16 divided by 1/2 is equal to 32, by the way. So my answer for r is 32. But my third step should be to check that out to see, is this correct? So I'm going to go to the original example. So that I'm going back up to the original example up there, and I took a copy of it. 1/2 r minus 1 equals 16. And now I'm going to put that here, and in place of r, I'm going to put parentheses and 32, which is the number we said r is. So half of 32 is 16. 16 minus 1 is 15, and 15 does equal 15. So this does check out when we use our answer of r equaling to 32. So that's pretty much how we do it, going backwards. I think it's a good trick, and I really like it. So here's one for you guys to do. So pause the videotape and then see if you can go backwards. I know there are fractions in there, but don't let it worry you. You have calculators, so use them. So remember, we read to the right, -9/10 p, so there's a coefficient there, and we're minusing 3, and that equals 3/5. Remember where we start? At the end, and work our way backwards, describing what's happening. So pause the videotape, and I'll give you a minute. Okay, hopefully you pause the videotape, and now we can go backwards. So I'm going to start by releasing this. So 3/5, we have a minus 3, and here we have a parenthesis, -9/10. Don't forget that negative sign there. It's a little small, and it's being multiplied by the letter P. So our first step would be to go in the opposite direction, doing what we run into with the 3/5. So I start with 3/5. I notice I run into a minus 3, so the opposite of minus 3 would be plus 3 to 3/5. So 3/5 plus 3 will equal to 3 and 3/5. So there is my 3 gone. I ran into it, and I don't have to worry about it anymore. I'm going to continue my journey going this way. I notice there's a negative 9/10 being multiplied by the letter P. So that means I have to do the opposite of multiplying, which is dividing. So I'm going to divide by negative 9/10. So I'm going to take my answer that I got from step 1, which is 3 and 3/5, and I'm going to divide it by negative 9/10. So if I got my calculator out, and you are welcome to it, I will get that equal to P, 3 and 3/5 divided by negative 9/10. That's equal to negative 4, believe it or not. So we're saying that the value of P is equal to negative 4, but we got to do our third step, and that's to check it just to make sure. So let me release my check. So here's my original equation, and if you want to take a look at it, I'll go up. Negative 3P, negative 9 over 10P minus 3 equals 3/5. So I rewrote my equation. I'm going to replace the P with the 4, negative 4 that we said it was equal to. And I'm going to multiply negative 9/10 times negative 4, and that gives me positive 3.6. And now I'm going to subtract the 3, and that'll give me 0.6. And that equals 3/5. Well, if you press your fraction, change your fraction to decimal button, you will get 3/5. So that is correct. They are equal. So we are correct saying P is equal to 4. So I hope you're understanding this little trick, and hopefully you'll get it. You got to practice it a little bit, though, to make sure you have gotten it. All right. So here's one more for you. See if you can get it. Remember, read from the left to the right, then describe what's going on. I notice this time 17 equals 8c minus 7. Why did they put the equal to 17 in the front? Well, you're allowed to put it in the end, the equal to 17 in the end, and then that way you'll know where you're starting with. So you're starting with the 17, and you're going backwards. So remember doing the opposite of whatever it tells you. It says minus 7, you're going to do the opposite of minus 7, which is plus 7, and you have 8c, which means 8 times c, and you're going to do the opposite of that. So this is what it looks like. So let's see, we have to start with our negative 17, not the negative 7, because we're starting with what it equals to. And then we add 7, because that's the opposite. When we run backwards, the first thing we run into is the minus 7. So we do the opposite, which is add 7. So 17 plus 7 is 24. And now our 7s are gone. Now we're left with, as we continue our journey, 8 times c. The opposite of multiplying by 8 would be to divide by 8. So we'll take our 24 and we'll continue our journey. 24 divided by 8 equals c, and 24 divided by 8 means our answer is 3. So c is equal to 3. Let's do our third step and check it into the regular equation. So 17 equals 8c minus 7. So I'm going to take that equation and I'm going to check it. So there it is. And I use the original equation because I don't want to use the other equation. Maybe I might have made a mistake or something. I didn't want to take any chances. So I'll check it out in the original equation. So I'm going to replace c with 3 because we said that c is equal to 3. And 8 times 3 is 24. 24 minus 7 is 17. So 17 does equal 17 when we have c is equal to 3. So this is getting interesting because we seem to be flying through it pretty fast. So see if you can do this one. 3/5 t minus 6 is 18. So good luck and bring in your answer in the class. I hope you understand what's going on. If you're not sure, rewatch the video, write down your questions, and give it a try. And rewatch the video, and I think you'll get it. So here's my challenge problem. Solve for G. 3/5 G minus 1/3 equals negative 10/3. Hey, I didn't even put my chart up there to help you out, so hopefully you'll bring in the answer in the class. So I hope you found the lesson easy and enjoyable, and let me know by writing me in my email address. I'll give it in a second. But if you need help with the homework, there's the Hello Teacher Homework Helpline at 212-777-3380, Monday to Thursday, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Give them a call. They're nice people. You can watch my tutorial videos at Dan Robinson, PKMS on YouTube. You can subscribe to our channel. Thank you for helping me to get the 1.1 K subscribers. Keep subscribing because we're out there working for you guys. Write us a comment. Let me know how I'm doing and what I can do better. Give us a thumbs up if you like what we're doing. Check out our latest release, PKMS Math Prep 21. A little salute to the pandemic people, heroes. So tweet me at drobmath1. If you'd like a copy of the worksheet, as I mentioned, of what we were just doing, write me at drobinson@peakskillschools.org. I'll send you something. So check out our pandemic. There's Little Kinsley, and it's a good movie. Math Prep 21, The Pandemic. It's a good movie. So I hope you enjoyed what we're doing. So that's it for today. And Dr. Rob is going to be signing off. So that's it for me. See you next time. Bye-bye.